guests, that's why I have them on, yeah. Neither can my guests, that's why I have them on, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of I Can't Make This Up. I'm your host, AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. You can find me at www.ajdunk.com. All the rest is from there. I have a special guest here today. I like to say that all my guests are special. If they're taking the time out of their day to be on an episode of I Can't Make This Up, how can you not consider them to be special?
Oh my God.
Oh, what? You don't like to feel special?
No, I love it.
All right. Okay. So, guest, if you would, please introduce yourself.
I'm working on my intro. I'm working on my intro. I'm working on. Big Willie Gets Silly out here, Cokie Papi represent Puerto Rico BX all day, every day. I'm working on my intro, also known as Will Martinez, but I'm doing the Big Willie Gets Silly. By the way, that's one word, all caps, because people like to spell it like separate words or like proper thing. It's Big Willie Gets Silly, all caps. I'm working on my intro. Big Willie Gets Silly. Anyway, that's who I be. That's what I'm going by. That's it.
All right. Big Willie Gets Silly. We got you here today, and we're going to see what we can't make up.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All
All right, so let's get into it. If you could give me a word or a phrase, something like that, and I'm going to give you a story that has happened in my life that I cannot make up.
Okay. Let's do a dookie chain.
Dookie chain. Dookie chain. All right, I'm going to be real. So, all right, there was a time where I'm from South Jersey. And a good amount of times, me and my friends would go out to Philly. And one time we went out to Philly, and like I had to go take a piss. So like I went to like the back of the parking lot, and like I went to go take a piss, and I thought I had to fart, but it wasn't just a fart. it was a fart shit, and not like a big shit, but it was like enough to be a dookie chain for what I was expecting. So then I had to take a detour from the route that we were taking because I knew that there was a bathroom at this other street, and I had to abort mission from where we were going, go to the bathroom at this other place, clean myself, and then I ended up going to the club, and I had to leave the dirty drawers at the place, that bathroom that I went in to get right. And I'm an adult, and I am not afraid to share that.
Yeah,
I sharted before going out in the city.
That has never happened to me, but because I am like obsessed with it happening, so I'm like, I like over prepare, like that whole like going to the bathroom shit. Like, first of all, I hate it. I'm super embarrassed by it. I don't like talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then second of all, I'm so conscious of that like that like even like at jobs so before I started doing comedy, which I do comedy, I had like real jobs, like 9 to 5 going to office jobs. Yeah. And it was always like a preoccupation with me to be like, I don't ever want to go to the bathroom at my job because it stalls. But like, I mean, people could look in there. There's freaks. Yeah. There's freaks everywhere, brother. You know what I mean? So I was always like thinking about it. But then I started getting into like long-term relationships where like it's not like you could straight up prepare, right? Like if you know you have a girl come over or you're going to go to a girl's house, you're like, boom, I know this is happening. I could do all the things I need to do. it's like, no, I'm gonna see this person almost every day now, so I can't, like, that type of preparation can't happen. So my mind had to shift. And then I was fortunate enough to like keep moving up and getting jobs where like they were nice offices where they had those solo bathrooms, or you could go to a different floor and the people there would be like, yo, I only see this dude in the bathroom, but I never see her. like, is that dude even in accounting? But yeah, that was always a thing in my head. And then this last job, like the final 9 to 5 that I ever had, I just had like a real whack manager. Like, just, I mean, this is like a business. Like, we get in wearing ties.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I was a marketing guy.
Okay.
And I had this manager. I don't know what his deal was, but like when you go to the bathroom, it's gonna take a while, right?
Depending upon the person.
You know what I mean? So, you play it off like, I'm going to go get some coffee, or I'm going to go do some, I'm going to smoke a cigarette, even though I don't do that. But, people leave and come.
They smoke cigarettes all the time.
But this motherfucker one day was like, hey, if you're going to take more than a 10-minute break, could you let me know? And I was just like, yo, okay. So to be an asshole, every time I would leave, I would be like, I'm going to the bathroom. And after like the third time I said that, he was like, you don't have to tell me all the things you're doing. And I was like, well, I mean, you put me in a position. I hated it.
Yeah.
So I would just message him and be like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Because that's what you want, right?
You took it to messaging.
Yo, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't go outside for 10 minutes without you wilding on me, bro.
That is true.
Oh, man. Anyway, sorry. That was my tangent about bathroom. I hate it. I hate having to go. I hate everything about it.
Yeah, like, I've been that way for a while. Like, I would have to go to a family member's house or go home. I was not, there was no thing as a public bathroom using that out. But now it's like, either you going to use this bathroom or it's going to come out somewhere else, somehow, some way. So you got to do it.
I think it might be like a family thing, because my cousin too, he's like even crazier with it. He is like, if he has a job in the city, he's worse. Like, he's dead ass will pass out from like holding it in. Like, every job he's had that he has to go to the city, he takes the Metro North back because there's bathrooms there. And he's like, bro, I don't want to be in a situation. Like, he's like nervous that he's going to be in a situation where he's going to have to go to the bathroom and not be able to. He doesn't want to shit himself. So I was like, bro, how much money are you spending on the Metro North from the city? And I was like, he's like, I can't.
That probably backs his ass up. Just worrying. That worry just like,
well, he also eats he eats too much food. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is too much about this. But what I'm saying is, yo, the fear of having to go to like, how about when you were the girl right now, right? When you guys, that to me is like a big fear of like the moment where we have to at some point acknowledge that we both dookie, right? So like, like when is, like for me, like the first month, I'm like pretending that I never go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I just don't. It's hard for me to lie in any situation now. I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to backtrack and then try to like catch up. So I'm just be real. Like, I just told you that I'm a grown man and I shit on myself in a parking lot. Like I don't. It's just.
That's wild.
It's just that I don't know. If people, there are people that would be like, okay, I don't know. I have to feel a certain type of comfort level to share like certain type of information, but I'm just like, fuck it, just throw it out there and see what happens. Like, cause it's going to happen anyway. I'll be more worried if you were like, I don't shit ever.
I mean, we all know
then there's a problem.
Well, yeah.
Then we have a real conversation.
Yeah, then you gotta go to the hospital.
Oh yeah. We gotta get you pumped something. All right, so now let's say that you were out in Philly with us, all right? And then we was on the way back home, and we went out for the club and all. And he was like, yeah, all right, cool. And then on the way back, he was like, yo, let's watch a movie when we get back. Now we like, all right, Big Willie Get Silly. Well, what movie we gonna suggest? Let's watch your movie. What is the name of your movie?
Okay, wait, sorry. It's a movie that doesn't exist or exists?
It would be like your movie.
About me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, then it would for shizzle be Big Willie Get Silly versus Dracula.
Big Willie Get Silly versus Dracula.
Yeah,
all right.
And it would be like a hood horror movie. And I'm gonna tell you why. That's my favorite. Like over time, especially while doing comedy, but definitely growing up, I loved horror movies because like my family didn't like. There wasn't rules about what we could and couldn't watch. Like as long as it wasn't like porn or whatever. So like I was watching like Freddy Krueger movies with my grandma. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a big deal. So that, but then I was also watching like Boys in the Hood or Juice or all those other movies. Yeah. So like somehow like when I started finding my voice or whatever in comedy, like it kind of was hood and horror together. And that's why I love Leprechaun in the Hood. I love Bones. I love man, like they're all dumb. They're all fucking stupid because it's always like, oh shit, that's a demon. And then mad guns and mad drug dealers, you know what I mean? But it's just funny. So it would be like that. It would be like Dracula comes to the hood and we gotta fight him. Also the other thing is like I inadvertently have written like 4 or 5 sketches about Dracula. Someone pointed it out. They're like, yo, you got mad like comedy bars for Dracula. And I'm like, I didn't realize that until the 5th one where I was just like, oh shit, I have a lot to say about this motherfucker.
You prepare for when you see him.
Yeah. Oh, when I see you, bitch. No, but yeah, it would be that. Big Willie Get Silly versus Dracula.
Big Willie Get Silly versus Dracula.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, man.
We're gonna throw hands. We're gonna throw hands.
I see something where somehow, some way they meet in the daytime. I see that happening.
That would be mad funny. Like somewhere. Dracula be like, I don't give a fuck about the sun. Motherfuckers, y'all got it twisted. That's fake news. Look at how tired I am. Oh, and please believe it's gonna be a POC Dracula.
Of course.
Yeah. Although it would be mad funny if it was like the classic white ass Dracula. I don't know. I gotta figure it out because there's also a movie coming out called the BX. It's like Vampires in the BX or something like that, and like literally every Bronx celebrity is in it, and I'm mad because I'm not famous enough to be in that movie.
It's all right. There's always opportunity for a sequel.
It's all good. Big Willie Get Silly versus the Wolfman. Big Willie Get Silly versus Frankenstein. Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen, baby.
There you go. You have a whole series. Big Willie Get Silly versus all the monsters. Horror people.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Can you think of a time where it was like somebody looked at you, judged you, and then it was just like, yo, he can't do this. And you were just like, yo, don't try to play me.
Yeah. So I will say being like a person of color in the quote unquote business world, that does, when I was like not doing comedy, I would say that does happen where people try to play me and or did try to play me. Like, so one time, the biggest time that it ever happened was I was working at this place and I had written like I had written a business plan that was, nobody asked me to do it, but I had written it because the job that I was doing was kind of like, I was in between like people who bought stuff for stores and the marketing department, right? So I was more in the marketing department. And so I was like, yo, these people, they like talking to each other, but they're not listening. And then I end up having to do mad shit I don't want to do. Yep. So I wrote like a whole, like, I don't know, it's like a 5-6 page with like diagrams. And I was just like, this is how I think we could alleviate like friction, because I think, you know, it would make more sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, you know, we wanted to streamline that because I was tired of fucking going to these meetings and nothing getting done. So anyway, so I would go, and I went to the, I remember I went to the VP of marketing, who was technically my boss. And I was like, hey, I wrote this thing. I think this will work. And he looked at me and he was like, he read it in front of me and he was like, this is very well written and very well put together. And I was like, you hired me to do this job. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I went to college. You saw my resume. Like, I wasn't lying about that. But yeah, he was like so surprised that I had like taken initiative. Like, I later came to find out that what they wanted was someone to just do grunt work, but they positioned it as like a marketing job.
Yeah.
So then they hired some kid who didn't, you know, like when I went to college, I could not do internships. I had to make money, and internships was free work. Couldn't do it. So they just took a kid who was, you know, it was probably going to be someone like me in an economic situation like myself who couldn't do internships, right?
Mm-hmm.
They paid me. That job was my first job out of college. It took me like a year or a year and a half to get, because everybody wanted someone with internship experience.
Yeah.
And I was working at a loss. So what I'm saying is I would go to a job that was paying me money and I was still negative every week. They took full advantage of me, and then I tried to show initiative, and the motherfucker looked me in my face and was like, I'm very surprised. And I was like, but you hired me to do this job. I'm doing this job. And he was like, yeah, okay. I was like, okay, if you don't want to do it. And then and I never talked to him again. And then, like, I think like 3 weeks later, they had like they wanted me to do like they wanted me to go to a warehouse and like paint it for like a photo shoot, and I was just like, nah. And then the next day I emailed them, I was like, I'm not coming back. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's real.
That is
hey, that's real. Like,
yeah. Even in the story about when you said that the guy was like, let me know when you take more than a 10-minute break. That right there, he wasn't going to say that to nobody. Like, I don't feel.
That's another situation. I'm gonna tell you about that job. That job, it was a pretty high it was a pretty high profile company. And look, when I negotiate, right, that's a whole other thing about like why I can't work in that world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not my passion, but also like negotiating your salary is insane, right? You have to perform when you're interviewing. You got to tell a whole story. You got to be like, yo, this is why I'm better than I'm a even though like you can hire somebody else who's gonna do the same shit I'm gonna do. Nobody's gonna do anything different. But this is how fucked up that place was. When I left, there was like a real issue that we ended up having. Like, I mean, that guy was, he used to tell this story about, I'm going to tell much of this story without saying his name because I don't want people to know where it was. This is a white man.
Oh, it is.
This is a white man. Just so you know, this is why this story is important.
Spoiler!
He kept telling this thing that he thought was a joke.
Mm.
And he was like, hey, when I was a teen, I was considering changing my last name to X because me and Malcolm X had a lot of similarities. Now, okay, now listen to me, okay? I just want to be very clear. When a white man says that to me, or any other POC in the room. By the way, I was usually the only POC in the room. You know, I gotta be like, oh, that's interesting. what are the similarities? Because
Please explain.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's mad interesting. I thought you was from, you was from, I don't want to say where he's from but it's one
You're
of
from
the
Germany.
white.
We thought you were from Germany.
Yeah. No, it's one of the whiter states, in the north, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And I'm listening because I want him to tell me. I'm waiting to be like, oh, I went on marches. I fucking fought
I was at Selma
for black civil rights. I was here. I went to Selma because he was old enough. So this motherfucker goes, well, we have the same birthday, and we were both pretty rebellious in our youth. And I was like, yo, that is not the same.
Come on, my man.
I was like, my man, stop saying that. Okay? I was like, there's so much significance to that. Why he chose the name X. Like, I was like, please stop saying that. And then he said it again. And I was just like, I don't know why he thinks this is funny.
And he was chuckling at it.
He thinks he thought it was an amusing anecdote that he would tell. And I was like, yo, you know what, bro? And then I started roasting him, and I'm like, how stupid would it be when you're on conference calls and you say your last name is X? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's a conversation you got to have every
Tyler
time.
X.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Tyler
Literally,
X.
everything about your life is the opposite of what you think is funny about this, you idiot. Anyway, that was one of the things I brought up when I was doing my exit interview. But I think he in America and I think in my experiences with jobs like that, where a lot of companies are like diversity, but then like when you deal with this, I mean, he was a pretty high up guy, and he thought it was totally cool to tell that story. And he did other shit too, like when the whole kneeling in the NFL thing. So this company is a type of company that would advertise at the NFL. I will say that. And people would like comment online about the products, and they would mention that. He would and be like, how could you align yourself with this product, blah 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 blah. He would say that he would like dismiss it and say things like, why do people still give a shit about that? And I'm like, bro, come on, man.
It's like it's like once you put yourself into a certain group, you still have to speak and operate in other groups. That's so you're still aware of other things.
Yeah.
Like since I've started doing comedy, it's taken up a lot of like recreation time. Like it's scheduling when I used to do something, but now I can't. Like I used to watch football on Sundays.
Yeah.
Now I don't even watch football at all. It's not just the fact of comedy. There's other reasons too, like because of everything that's going on with football. But it's like I had a friend come visit and he still watches football. Yeah. So I put it on like to accommodate my friend, and I still want to know kind of like, okay, let me have conversation. Let me know what's up. Let me see who are the most recent trades. Let me see who's winning, stuff like that. So I still want to stay relevant, but it's like you can't just float around in one scene, because then I bet you if you take him to your house, he wouldn't be saying, "Oh, hi, my name is Tyler X," and you'd be saying that to your family. You think he would say that to your people?
He is so oblivious.
Oh my God!
Because like when he would say these things, and this is not like to bitch about this dude, because honestly, like there was a lot of other things going on, but I think, the whole with the Kaepernick thing, like his whole point was, why can't they just talk about how delicious our flavors are and not worry about the whole? And it's just like, bro, anyway, he was oblivious, and the whole point. I don't want to keep talking about that dude, but I think the whole point is that when you are a person of color and you work in those environments, no matter how woke the company wants to be, and no matter how woke they think they are, and how much they talk about that shit. Because make no mistake about it, had I gone to complain, like that was the type of company. Had I gone to complain about it, they weren't gonna get rid of him.
Right.
You feel me? Like, they weren't gonna get rid of him.
Right.
They was gonna, and what companies do, because I've seen it happen to people, is they do shady shit, right? They don't immediately fire you.
No.
But now, every time you come in 1 minute late, they write it down. Every time you take a more than 10-minute break, they write it down. Every time you miss a deadline by like 5 minutes, all of a sudden, all this shit that doesn't matter starts to matter. And then when it racks up, you get out of here.
Definitely.
That's exactly how it works. It's not a thing of like, oh, we trust you or whatever. It's a thing of like, you really gotta, when you complain about a higher up, I've never done this because I'm not stupid, but I have seen it happen to other people. Yeah. Now you gotta be like, you gotta be hella early. You gotta be delivering all the time.
Yeah.
I had a friend one time at a job where they did this thing where there was like, we're gonna put you on a 30-day like
sabbatical.
No, 30-day
is that the word?
Review.
Okay.
So like,
giving
you 30 days to improve.
Yeah.
Man. I was like, bro, go look for another job. 30 days review is, so they have paperwork saying that they talked to you about it, but after those 30 days, unless you bring this company $3 million, your ass is out of here, bro. That's that paperwork. They telling you got 30 days to get a job. But anyway, that's the corporate world.
Yeah,
I hate
man.
it. I never wanted to be. I thought I wanted to be in it, and then I realized that, people who work there really want to work there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's their life.
Yeah.
And
about
for
that
me,
money.
I was just trying to get a check. So
you're both about that money, but just in different ways. Like they don't give a fuck. Like, all right, yo, how is this gonna help me get this money?
Yeah.
Get this money.
Exactly. Well, and the other fucked up thing about it was, part of the reason that I was having also tension, and I found this out. This is why this guy, he was such an idiot. He goes, man, I got to tell you, you're the highest paid person on my team. And I'm like, why would you say that to me? I don't need to know that I make more money than everybody else on your team. Like, why would you say that? Also, now I understand why I got beef. Because the other person that was here had been here a whole year before me. And and she probably you probably told her, because from rip she hated my ass.
Yo, you worked with Michael Scott. That's who you.
Exactly.
Michael X.
I was like, you definitely paid me more money because I was a guy, and I didn't know that, and now I feel weird about it. Fuck. Now he was the worst, bro. Honestly, I was like, because in my head I'm like, she had more experience here than me, right? She had more seniority, and I make more money than her. How does that make sense?
That's wild.
That's wild.
And you're not even doing the job that you're hired to do. It's that's
anyway.
That's so. Hey, listen. He tried to play you. He's going to end up playing himself in the long run. All right.
Sorry, that was a long ass tangent, bro.
It's all right. It's cool. All right, we're gonna move along to one word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a word or a phrase, and you can only respond with one word. All right? So you can't try to explain and get out and all that. Just one word. The last one, I'm going to tell you it's the last one. Then you give me one word. After you give me that, then you can explain why you chose that word. All right? You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Metro card.
What money?
The suburbs.
Ooh, gentrification.
Number.
23.
Colors.
Purple.
Time of the day.
Ooh, 8 p.m.
Now, here's a phrase. Hello, sir. How may I
help you?
Ooh, one word.
Oh, one word? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Booty.
Hello, sir. How may I booty? Sports.
Basketball.
Corporate.
Tie.
It's a tie.
Tie.
Okay. Purple Dragons.
Purple Dragons.
Yeah, Purple Dragons.
Imagination.
Horror movies.
Jason.
Ooh, okay. Ooh,
man right there.
ooh,
That's
maybe
my
he
dude.
pops up when Big Willie Gets Silly versus Dracula. Oh, we don't know. We don't know. Ric Flair.
Woo!
Fabio.
Oh, that Brolic.
Black.
Michael. Oh, Jackson.
White.
Tiger.
Asian.
What? Asia?
Asian.
Oh, Naruto.
Latino.
Pastelillos.
Turtlenecks.
80s.
Family.
Grandma.
Friends.
Ooh, happy.
Facebook friends.
Fake.
All right. Big Willie Gets Silly.
Big Willie Gets Silly.
Yeah, one word.
Grinding.
All right. And then this is going to be your last word. I'm going to say
Yeah.
it to you. You give me your one word, then you can explain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Will Martinez.
Oh, Will Martinez.
One word.
Complicated.
Complicated.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I guess it's because I'm complicated because I'm kind of like, right now I'm in a position where I have to, I'm trying to like make it doing comedy, right?
Mhm.
Which is completely different than what I had been doing in my past life. But it's hard, right? Because one is I started later than a lot of people, right?
Okay.
Two, it's like, I'm right now scaling back on living expenses, right? So like, it's hard because I'm complicated because I really, really, really want to focus on making that comedy check, but I'm constantly like, fuck, okay, maybe I should just go back and like work a little bit and stack some cheddar, but then that's gonna fuck me up, right?
Right.
So I have, but then the other thing about me is that I'm also very like, I don't know what the word is, but I'm very like spacey, I guess. So like for me to focus on something requires like a lot of energy, right?
Okay.
So having all this conflict and having all this like all this shit in my brain, it makes it really hard for me to focus on one thing as much as I should be, right?
Okay.
So for instance, like I dropped a parody song right now,
Mhm.
right? And the whole point of that was for me to be focused, and I only have 4 days to do it. So like do the video, get all the people involved, do the track, do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But people are like 4 days, that seems like, it seems hard, but it doesn't seem that hard, right? But like for me, it really was hard because a lot of that time was just me like, oh, fuck. I don't want it. Like physically like hurting my body to like focus on one thing to complete it and then release it and then do the Photoshop for it and do the promotion for it, just so that I can like focus my brain. And it's just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I worry. Sometimes I think about like, man, should I just, it'll just be a lot easier to just get a corporate job and say forget. So anyway, that's what's going on in my brain, and that's why I say complicated, because I really do struggle every day with the easiness of going back and making the money, but the desire to move forward and do the thing that I have to with my, what's the word? My personality of like hard to focus Anyway,
I get you. Now, let me ask you this: what is Jay-Z's? No, not even that. What is? What is Jay-Z like? What is his job?
Jay-Z's job?
Yeah.
He's a mogul.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's gone to this.
Yeah.
But like, what does LeBron do?
Plays basketball.
He plays basketball, right?
Yeah.
What does Tiger do?
Plays golf.
Right.
Yeah.
Tiger doesn't go work at the business and then sometimes play golf. Yeah. LeBron doesn't go to swim classes, like do swimming and then plays basketball. Like that's what they do, and that's what's gotta happen. Like
I'm with you, bro.
I know it, and I know because it's just like, oh shit, like there's so many other people doing the same thing, doing this, doing that. It's not looked at necessarily as a normal occupation. Like telling, I don't know about your family, but most people telling their family, oh yeah, I want to be a comedian. They laugh at you. Ha, that's funny. Ha, okay, cool, sure. But it's like there are ways of making it happen and doing it. And then also, like, if let's say, okay, you did that in 4 days, put out the track in 4 days. What if then you start putting out a track every week? There's 7 days in a week. You got 3 days off that you don't have to put to that, and then you can find that it will become easier and easier and easier and easier, and then you can cut down time and do it a lot quicker.
No, you know what's so funny is that's what I'm doing now, right? So like it's not in that timeline that you just said, because that for me it's gonna take a while, but I think the next song that I'm working on right now is I'm planning to get it done within like the next week and a half or so. But that's kind of the only way I felt that I could like train my brain to be, forget about I'm not going to have money, forget about thing, and just keep looking forward. Because I do feel like when I say success, I don't mean like I'm going to be super famous or have millions of dollars. I just want a steady income. Doing something I love. There you go. And I think it's close, but this is the only way I could train my brain to be thinking about this 100%, right? Mm-hmm. Doing a project where I fully have to invest everything. Mm-hmm. And meaning like I have to really like from making the beat from scratch, from learning how to play the music that I need to get it done, to filming the thing, right, with my friend Shem. To contacting people, to promoting it afterwards, to doing the Photoshop, to, creating, I don't know, advertising for whatever it is, so that I could really, really get in the bones of it, right? So yes, you're right. And I think I this is how I have to like structure. I have to like train my brain to stop thinking about shit that I don't need to think about, and trust that I can make it to the other side.
You could do it.
Thank you, brother. Bro, you're so supportive, bro. This is why I fucks with you, AJ, dog. All caps.
You asked me, like, you said, how many episodes have I done? And I told you 127. Yeah. And I put it out weekly. That's what keeps, like, all right, I've told myself I'm going to put this out weekly. I've been putting this out weekly. So now I know that, all right, I have to schedule a guest. I got to have a time. I got to do this. I do all this shit by myself too. Yeah. But after a while, it's kind of like a gym routine. It's like, okay, I know what I got to do. Yeah. And then you just starting to go through the motions. And then your mind can wander on something else because you're just, all right, boom, 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 boom. You got it. You can do it.
I think it's just, you're right. I mean, I think it's just not being overwhelmed with like how much shit I got to do. But yeah, I mean, when you told me you did 127, I was like, this is insane. Like when I look at all my friends who like, who are so, I guess, prolific, right? Is in whatever it is they do, or like they have so much that they're putting out all the time. I'm like, I want to get to that level where I'm putting out a lot of stuff, or good stuff, not just crazy. Because a lot of people put out a lot of shit, and that shit is not good.
But all right, but in defense though, in defense for that is, I like 2 Chainz. He's an acquired taste for people. I was watching some special on Netflix, and he was speaking, and what I got from his conversation was just that if I just keep doing it, people are gonna pay attention eventually.
Exactly.
So if you keep doing it and like that's your voice, you're gonna get an audience. Definitely.
No, I mean, I thank you. I believe I can. It's just a matter of getting my body, getting my brain, getting my spirit in alignment and directed in the right direction, as opposed to like having one over here, one over there, one over here. I think, but yes, I mean, I also, I would say AJ super supportive. I asked AJ to be, like, for instance, in that video, he came through.
That's right.
A day before, right? I think I asked.
Yeah. I was like, you want me to do what? I was like, all right, I got time.
And then he was also directing traffic away when Permanent Patty came through. But yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm sure other people struggle with this as well, right? It's just like, fucking, it's difficult for sure. But I think I'm making it. Right now I'm in a mode where, also I'm telling a lot of people in my life, like, hey man, I'm in the zone right now, so I can't talk. I gotta keep doing this, because the second that I fucking go do something else, I'm never coming back to it. So yeah, and then eventually, like, get to a point where you got people that you could afford to help you with the shit, and then you have time to do different stuff. Right. But this is, by the way, I'm letting everyone know this is a stream of consciousness that I'm going through right now. So.
Where's this? Like, I've been trying to locate this song. Where can I listen to it again?
Okay, so this is what it was good, and this is why I'm a little proud of myself, not because of like the content that I created, but because of the focus that I had. Like, I would stay up till like that 4 days. I was up till like 5 a.m. every day. Because I don't know Photoshop that well, right? I know the mechanics of it, but like to make some dope shit, like, you gotta put time, right? Unless you're somebody that's like doing it all the time. They probably the graphic that I did, they could have probably done in like an hour.
Maybe now, but when they opened up Photoshop,
of course, 100%. But what I'm saying is that's why I was like proud of myself that I like took the effort and was like, no, I'm not going to sleep. I'm gonna figure out how to make a bloody face. I'm gonna figure out how to make this text look bendy. I'm gonna figure out how to do all this shit that I don't know how to do. But one of the nights that I had stayed up was I had finally had the track. I had like mastered it, which I kind of already knew because I've been making beats for like a long time. I had like EQ'd it and all that shit, and I was ready to go. And I was like, cool, now I want to give it away to my friends, because also, like, I called it a parody, but what I came to find out was it's not a parody. So for people that don't know, I did like a version of Somebody's Watching Me, the Rockwell song, but it was about gentrification, right? So it's a remix of the track. And so essentially the only elements of, I used enough of the elements of the original song that you knew it was familiar, but it was pretty much a new song. And then the melody is still the same, like la 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 la. So anyway, so I signed up for this distribution service called distrokit, because oh boy, nowadays if I want you to get my song, right, you ain't gonna go to your computer and download that shit, right? But that's right now, currently, that's the only way I could give away a free track. To give away a song for free, for someone to be able to listen to that shit all the time without having to go to YouTube all the time, or without having to go to, I don't know, SoundCloud or all that shit, which requires you to sign in to download it. I have to put it on Spotify or put it on Apple iTunes, or, you know, all these other things. To do that, they don't have an option to give your music away, right? you have to make money, which sounds great, but I don't know if I can make money off of this specific song. It's a stupid song that I made that has pieces of it, but I don't know. So I was reading, and that was called an interpolation. That wasn't a parody.
Okay.
And so the reason that I'm saying this is because, I had already paid for a 1-year subscription, which, by the way, this is not a commercial for them. They don't pay me. If you make original music, it's actually pretty good because they put it up on Spotify. They put it up on all that shit. But it got me thinking. So I was like, cool, I'm going to take kind of an L on this one and just have it up on YouTube, have it up on Bandcamp. And people are just going to have to like go there every time, or if they really, really wanted it, go to their computer, download it, and then add it to their iTunes or whatever mobile device they have. But I already have the subscription. I should keep making original music that I can use this subscription for. So that's what I'm doing now. So now
there we go.
I have this fucking subscription, so you gonna get mad Big Willie Get Silly songs this year that you could listen on Spotify. But to answer your question, the only way to get the song, that particular song, is download it from Bandcamp or go to YouTube and listen to it. Or if anybody knows Barry Gordy's son, Rockwell, ask him if I could put it up on Spotify. Because even if I was thinking like, even if they were like, we'll let you do it, but you got to give us all the money for that song, like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I would only want to pay Larry. Like, if I made money off that song, I would pay Larry Owens, who's on the song. But yeah, sorry, it is a long answer, but it really does go into like the process of converting from someone who didn't do comedy and someone who wants to distribute their stuff and get other people to listen to it, right?
And also, what I would say is that, all right, you've been doing comedy for a while now, and now like you're focusing a lot of mind, power, soul on it. You have those skills from Michael X. Michael X's place that you can also incorporate somehow into this. If you put together
Todd X.
Todd, if you put together that business plan, you could put together the same thing for this. And also, like, I was listening to some TED Talk, and it was a singer, some type of performer, and they got signed to a label, and they did 10,000 sales, and they thought it was good. The label thought it was shit, and they were like, all right, well, whatever. The performer was used to, like, I guess being in a city or some type, I don't know if it was New York, but some type of city, and like asking people for stuff. So after that, they threw on their own concert and then just asked people about the music and all. And people were just like, 10,000 people came and they all give you $1. That's $10,000 right there. That goes right to you. So it's like another way. And put the song up. Like, look at Tekashi. Look at this mofo. Whereas it's like he came out sticky with the blicky, and now everybody's talking about him. So
yeah,
you never know.
That's the thing. I think it's like, yeah, you just have to put it out, and just let motherfuckers know, hey, this shit is out. And
then if you continue to do it, then people are like, okay, all right, yo, that Big Willie Gets Silly track is coming out this week.
Oh, another thing about that service, though, I want to say is, like, because the way my name is stylized, Big Willie Gets Silly, all caps, one word, they don't let you do that.
It's probably too many characters.
No, they don't let you do it all caps.
I'm gonna struggle with that then too.
I was gonna say, but anyway,
we can write them a letter.
I'm sure if like I got enough streams or whatever, I could be like, dog, come on, man, you fucking my name.
We'll
up.
get Questlove involved too.
Yeah.
See if we can get something going. All right.
Questlove, if you listening, please, brother, help
Yo,
me.
listen, you can speak to anybody nowadays. I can send him a tweet. You don't know. He be like sitting back. Oh, shit, let me click this. Big Willie Get Silly. AJ Dunk all cap. This shit sound funny.
Yo, I always wonder, like, if like a celebrity or anyone is like, all right, let me talk to you about your career, brother. What you got going on? And then I talk to him like, you fucking around. I'm not talking to you. Like, you think you got a lot of shit happening? And then, like, he's like, nah, you playing too much. I'm out of here, bro. Anyway.
All right, we're going to move along to what happened. So I'm going to make up a hypothetical scenario, and you're going to explain how he got there. All right? So we're in the park, and we're sitting on a bench. I'm sitting down, and I have on a full reflector outfit. Like, it's like a one piece, like from neck to ankle. It's a full reflective outfit. I have on camouflage face paint, and I have on and I have on Monsters Inc. slippers. All right, you're sitting next to me.
Wait, you have reflective camouflage?
I'm gonna run it all
It's all
back for
good.
you.
I'm just trying to learn.
I got you. I'm gonna spit it all back to you. You're sitting down next to me. You have a real long beard that comes all the way down, like past your knees. You have a Scarface fitted on, and you have on Tim's. Like, the beard is so big that, like, it's basically covering you. So you have this long beard, Scarface hat, and Tim's. Just to recap, I'm sitting down. I have on a neck to ankle reflective like outfit. My face is painted camouflage, and I have on Monsters Inc. slippers. You're sitting next to me. You have this ridiculously long beard that's covering your body pretty much. You have on a Scarface fitted, and you have on Tim's. A person walks up, looks at you, looks at me, looks back at you, and says, "What happened?" What do you tell them?
So I would say, hey, man, first of all, why do you assume something's wrong? We just out here chilling. But now that you asked, we're doing promotion for my new mixtape coming out, where I take the character of Rick Rubin, and my homie right here is an avid jogger.
Okay.
But that's why he got a reflector so people could see him in the dark. But he only likes to jog through the woods. So, he's that's why he got the camo on, right? Because he wants people to be like, oh, I see that body running, but I don't see a head. What's going on? And of course, look, nowadays to get your music out there, you gotta fucking do crazy shit, man. So, I mean, yes, is this a very crazy story to do in a mixtape? Yeah, but when you think about a mixtape, you always gonna remember the one that had Rick Rubin on every track talking about motherfucker jogging through the woods. That's what my mixtape is about, okay? And right now, we just chilling, feeding the ducks bread. That's why we sitting here, and thank you very much. Would you like to hear my mixtape? Well, it's free, so you're gonna have to go to SoundCloud, sign up for an account, or I'm not trying to judge you. You can go to thatpiff.com.
That's how you know it's real.
What happened?
That's how you know it's real.
Yo, if it ain't on that piff, it ain't shit.
All right, that works out. There we go. Okay, now that's a story that was hypothetical. So now, can you share a story that you can't make up?
So this is a real story?
Yeah.
Okay.
All these stories should have been real that we were talking about Big Willie
They
Gets
were all
Silly.
real.
Now, what I'm going to say is that when you tell this story, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen. Now, if there's any holes in this story, I'm gonna peek through and I'm gonna ask questions about those. And I would just ask any other questions that I feel like if somebody's listening, they'd be like, hold on, what? That's kind of questionable. So as you tell this story, I'm gonna sit back and listen, and then once you're finished, then I'm gonna ask just to make sure that it's a story that is real and that cannot be made up.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you a story. Man, should I don't know if I should say the names of the people.
We can easily make up names.
You know what?
Unless it's like
celebrity.
it's a celebrity? That's up to you.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. Because I don't know if I can say the name of the person, but I can give details about the experience. I will say this. Okay, so I do improv, right? Comedy. And I perform with a squad called Take It Personal, right?
All right.
So y'all know Take It Personal is a hip-hop comedy improv. We don't rap. We normally do improv based on monologues given by a hip-hop celebrity, like a rapper or maybe like a record exec or something like that. It's hosted by Cipha Sounds, who's like hugely famous in the tri-state area and around the world for several things. And we do hip hop improv. And so one night, actually, he texts us and he says, hey, just got a crazy text. And he says the name of the singer. She is hella famous, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She's married to another hella famous rapper / producer, okay?
Okay.
Hey, got a crazy text. She hit me up, wants us to surprise him by doing improv at his 40th birthday, okay?
All right.
First thing I go is, why? Right now, mind you, I should like the names that was spit out to me. I was like, God damn, these are famous ass people. I would love to go to this party, but I don't want to do improv. Okay, I mean, improv is fun, but let's be real. Nobody wants to be surprised with improv. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, of course. But I don't understand why we're doing this. So we go over. So so the night before. So of course nothing is said to me like what the dress code is. You know, none of that shit, right? So knowing this guy, right, from I'm a huge fan of this dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. You know, and you know how it is. You know how we do. It's gonna be there's gonna be sparklies. There's gonna be like fucking tuxedos. So I was like, I'm not coming through in a tuxedo. So I'm gonna dress like I'm going to a club, right? That's gonna be my outfit. So a lot of us kind of got the same message. We kind of figured it out. Like we were just like, yeah, we all gotta dress up like in some capacity, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't be looking like bums.
Right. You can't look like people. You just.
Yeah, this is hip hop royalty.
Right.
You feel me? So we get there. When we're in the lobby, I go, I gotta ask, bro, I'm ready for whatever, but I need to know how it came to be that we're doing this. Like, why this is a thing that's happening, right? Because what I want to know is, does he fucking love improv, right? Does this dude love improv? Like, does he love it? Like, he loves Harold's? Like, I don't know, right? Like, why are we doing this? And so it was explained to me that he had like seen one of Cipha's shows, like where he was doing it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he like casually said that he liked it. But I can't imagine. Like, I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
You're
don't
right.
know.
Everybody has their own taste.
I don't know.
You're right.
But I can't imagine that he didn't say anything more than, oh, I like this. I was amused by this, right? His wife, again, she's super celebrity, okay? I want you to know. She's pretty big celebrity. Being the wonderful wife that she is, heard him be interested in something one time or maybe a few times, and said, this would be nice for my husband. Okay? But not understanding the improv is a pretty corny thing. Let's be real. It's super fun. When you go watch it at a show, I super have a good time. But it's not the kind of thing that you want to bring to a cool ass birthday party unless the person is like a comedy nerd.
Yes, it's very hit or miss.
It's
like baseball.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I went on tour with these guys. I've done shows in the hood. I've done shows not in the hood, right? It always goes well, right? Because I know what I'm getting into. But this was like, I don't know that I can succeed in this environment. This is a birthday party for a super dope hip hop, person. And we're gonna fucking do improv, bro. Okay, so here it is. So we go. It is the dopest party I have ever been to. He had like a James Bond themed party, so everyone is dressed up. All the girls are fly, hella people like bow ties, motherfuckers. It's an IG party. You feel me? Like you definitely gonna post, yo, I'm here, and there's roulette tables, there's fucking blackjack tables. Like he went all out because in James Bond he like you know what I mean, like he there's always that thing of like he's always winning, whatever.
James Bond's the man.
So anyway, I'm like cool. At some point, his wife, the lady that invited us, again super celebrity, goes, "Everybody, I want you to stop." It's time to sing happy birthday to. So everyone's, and of course, she has a beautiful voice, right? She's R&B diva. Sings happy birthday. Everyone's captivated. They bring out the cake. My man is like almost in tears, because he's emotional, right? And he gives this speech about, no, people like us not supposed to make it till 40, like blah, blah, blah. And then he had a trip to Egypt and, that was emotional for him. And then he realized like this moment in his life, this was like a culmination of all the things that he had done. And he's so proud and he's so happy. Like he gave like an empowering speech about being a black man and not being able to make it, especially growing up the way he grew up, right? So,
dun, dun, dun.
So so as he's doing this, I'm like, yo, I hope we don't go up right after this. Sure enough, he stops talking. Everyone's like, damn, I felt that. But they ready to get back to gambling and smoking weed, right? So she goes, hold up. We got one more surprise for you, babe. And he's like, what? So I brought some guests here, and I want everybody to stop what you're doing and focus your attention. My bad. Focus your attention to the stage. And I'm like, oh no. Everyone's gonna have to pay attention to us, right? So I'm like, oh man. So we get on stage and we got those Britney Spears mics, right? Because obviously no one's gonna hear us, and their sound system is booming because they got a DJ up there and everything, and they got like real hip hop artists performing at this birthday. So we're with our, bullshit Britney Spears mics, and we're about to do improv comedy. So the way that it happens is Cipha interviews someone, and based on those stories, we do improv. We make it up on the spot, right? So he brings up the guy's mom to tell stories about him, right? Britney Spears mics are really hard to do improv in because you gotta have like a dope ass sound system. Usually it's like MSG or something like that would be like good enough so that it doesn't sound whack. So she's telling stories about him. Of course, he's like, what's happening? What? Oh, cause she's like, oh, take it personal. He's like, oh, I know Cipha. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, cool. All right, cool. So as the whole thing is going on, I'm looking at his face, looking at the audience, because they're like, I have no idea. Are they gonna roast him? Is that what they're gonna do? So cool. She gets off. We're about to get on. Right before he comes off stage, he whispers in Cipha's ear, "Yo, tell them to stop smoking weed in here. I don't like it." And he walks off stage. So Cipha goes, "All right, guys, we're taking personal. We're going to make up some story based on that story. But before we get started, we've been told you guys cannot smoke weed in here. It's not allowed." So I'm like, oh, no. They can't gamble. They can't do all the fun shit that they was doing because you are making them pay attention to us. And now they can't smoke weed. They don't know what improv is. You made us the villains. you made us the bad guys. So now they're looking at us like, you motherfuckers better be funny. I don't know what y'all about to do, but I can't smoke weed. I can't gamble. Oh, I better be captivated by this shit. You know? You know what I mean? So they're looking at us like, what is this? So we start doing improv. And you know how it is. People from the hood, you know. Mm-hmm. Other places, there's like a courtesy you give people if they're performing for you, or if you've been asked to give your attention to something, you give that attention. People from the hood, I'm from the hood. We don't have that.
Right.
If we don't want to pay attention, we not going to pay attention. We don't give a fuck what's happening. Right? You the police. You my boss. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to pay attention. That courtesy doesn't exist. You have to get that. You got to earn it.
Yeah, you got to earn that. You got to pull my attention.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, after 3 minutes of bad sound quality, them not understanding what the fuck we was doing, they start to turn around and go, oh, I could just go do fun shit right now. And they start dispersing and go and do whatever the fuck they doing. And so so after like 2 more minutes, we were told, all right, hey, that's our show, guys. And they swear, yo. So literally, I don't consider that a performance. I consider that we stayed on stage for 5 minutes and made people annoyed at us and then had to get the fuck off the stage. So I'm like, oh man, all these celebrities are here and I fucking straight up bombed. But also, they probably wasn't paying attention to anything I was doing anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. Could I say more of the story without having to give names? Okay, so I would say, so right after we got off stage, right? Nobody was with it. Another super famous comedian comes up right now. I want you guys to know that this person is like America's sweetheart right now, okay? Super famous POC comedian jumps up on stage and it's like, what the fuck did I just watch? Was that improv? Roasting the fuck out of us. And this is someone that can roast you, okay? Now, I'm like, oh, no. She's like, I could do improv. I would do improv with y'all. So, of course, we're like, oh, my God. Completely forgetting what just happened, right? The audience just told us we don't want what you're doing, right? So, but we're completely forgetting. We're like, the opportunity to perform with this person would be like amazing. So we're like scrambling to get our mics back on and we jump back on stage, right? She's like, yeah, all right, how does it go? Yo, the audience wasn't with what we was doing so much that the idea of this famous comedian that is in mad movies right now doing a performance with us was not enough for them to let us do at least 1 more minute. They rushed us off the stage and her off the stage. Like, oh, no. You know, we got music coming up. All right. And I was like, yo, we made the audience not like this person. The stank of improv at this place was so funky. So afterwards, you know, it was a little demoralizing, but at the same time, like 2 minutes after that, nobody remembered us. And also, like, I appreciate the opportunity. Like, that person was super nice. She invited us. I was so happy. You know, the guy whose birthday was so nice. Everyone was super nice, but it was just like one of those things where it was like, this is not a good idea. This is like not a good idea to do this, because it really was like, we all knew it, but like, AJ, you know, right? If somebody walks you into something, right, and it's a bunch of shit that you know, right? It's people from the hood. It's rap celebrities. It's all shit that you know, and you know going into it, I know what this situation is, and what I'm about to do isn't a good idea, right? But you still doing it. Like, that's kind of how it was. I was like, I've won over audiences before. There would have been no possible way. And if I would have jumped off stage afterwards and believed that and needed confirmation, the fact that this famous ass comedian jumped off on, like, had a movie out at that time, everyone loves her, okay? And even still, they was like, no, we don't want to see these motherfuckers, okay? You and them get the fuck off the stage. You know what I mean? Like, that was proof enough nobody was going to win them over.
Oh,
right?
my God.
Anyway, so I can't make it up. Do you have...
Yo. And I know it's true because
your ex told you, right?
I know other people that have been involved, and people have showed me pictures from from the event and all, but I didn't know these other little details about the performance and all.
Oh my God. Yo, so I'm gonna tell you how wild that story is too. Corin Wells, who is one of the people on Take It Personal, it must have a great, like, cause she was like, we were all pretty affected by like cause it was like we were not gonna succeed. But I felt like she was a little bit more. I don't want to talk for her, but I felt like she was more affected by it because I've talked to her since too, because people kept coming up to me that like I had no idea would know about this story, and they were like, "Yo, I heard what happened. That shit sounded crazy," and then find out that Corinne told them. So literally, like 2 days afterwards, she was around telling people like, "I gotta tell people about how crazy this shit is." It was great. I mean, X probably wiped it away, but it was. It's one of those things where it's just like, man, with Taking It Personal, there's so many like dope shit that happens. Like that was a cool story to tell, right? I bombed at this person's party, right, and I got to meet a lot of celebrities. But yeah, that probably was the wildest thing I've performed for an audience of one. I've performed in a place where people just yell shit on stage while I'm doing improv. I did an improv one time where for some reason they sat a girl on the stage and she thought she was part of the performance. And in my improv character, I had to like tell her to shut up. But that experience that I just said was the wildest experience I have ever had in my life. And it was great. I loved it, and I'm appreciative to everyone who was a part of it.
Now, once you all were done, for the second time, were you asked to leave the party?
No. They were super nice. So
no, that's what I was wondering. I was like, now that's really like, oh, shit.
No. I think everyone realized that we were in a position that we weren't gonna win, right? Because I think the thing about improv, and I think the cool thing that Cipha's trying to do is he is trying to introduce improv to a different audience, right? To an audience that doesn't know it, and that's an experience of it. I mean, people say like Wildin' Out isn't really improv. It's like kind of, but it's there's a lot of
more
written
short
shit.
form and stuff. Yeah,
kind of, but not really. Like he's bringing long form improv, right? Like what we do. So like I think everyone understood and were very appreciative that we would give our time. Because also, we didn't get up on stage. The other thing was, like, we didn't get up on stage till, like, 12:30. You know what I mean? Like, this was a party. You feel me?
Yeah.
So everyone was super nice. Like, she was nice. She gave us a hug. He was nice. He gave us dap. Like, we took pictures with people. Like, nobody was like, yo, y'all fucking suck. We really don't even want to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
So, we got to stay at the party for longer. Man, that was
a 5-minute performance. So basically, it seemed like the monologue was longer than what y'all did up there.
Yo, the monologue was 10 minutes. It was his mom pretty much talking for most of it.
I can just imagine, and it's like they probably didn't yell at y'all because they were just like, you know what, we ain't never gonna see these motherfuckers again, or or not even that. It was just like, what the fuck, like, I'm glad that they didn't. Well, it seems worse that they didn't yell like boo or like nothing like that. It's just like
dismissed us.
Yeah, they just turned around and was like whatever.
But that's
kept
what I'm
it moving.
And that's why I love being from where I'm from, right? Like, I think, and any people who have like similar experiences, it's just like, we don't have to yell at you or be like, you whack. We just not gonna pay attention to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it was just like a thing of like, no.
Now these mics, where is it like, it was like it like goes behind your ear and it comes out like a wide. Oh,
we call them Britney Spears mics.
So y'all came out looking like an R&B band, and then was expecting to do like, all right. My question is, when it was all right, okay, yeah, we're gonna bring them up. Was there some type of explanation about what you guys were going to do before you started, or was it just like,
no? I think that was. You can't explain improv when you only have like 1 minute to get the crowd on your side before you start doing it, right? And I think when we went on tour, when Take It Personal went on tour, we had the luxury of being like, cool, so what is improv? Okay, what's going to happen is, based on a story that you guys are going to hear, we're going to come out and make up scenes on the spot. We not have rehearsed it. We don't know what the fuck we're going to do. It's based entirely on what this person says. You're going to see some weird shit. Like when someone runs across the stage, that means that that particular scene is over. When someone tags someone, that means that the person that's not tagged is the same person that you know what I mean? You could say that. But at this party, my man, they wasn't going to hear all that. It was just like, cool, we're going to make this up on the spot. Peace. And it was just not good. I mean, not that what we were doing was not good. It was just that environment wasn't good because, like, think about it, AJ. You doing something, you having a mad good time. You out here, you dressed like fucking the man. You know what I mean? You got glitter fucking tuxedo. You got a dope ass bow tie. You fresh as fuck. You out here rolling them dice on that table. And someone goes, yo, stop doing that right now real quick and go watch a guy do, he's going to do acoustic music right now. You know what I mean? You'll be like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
He's gonna make up acoustic music on the spot and you gotta listen to that shit. Like, hell nah, dog. I wanna gamble.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cause that was probably the first time a lot of people in that room saw improv and still, after leaving there, they might be like, I don't know what improv, like, it's that word though. I honestly feel like it's the word improv. If it was switched to something else,
like freestyle comedy.
Yeah, it's like, all right, pop comedy, something like that, where it's just like, all right, bet we hopping on it right now. We about to make this into a story. Something like, it's something that needs to be there for our community, where it's just like, yeah, so
it's crazy because I think like there's so many words we could use, but because it's complicated, right? Because like if we said freestyle comedy, that doesn't work because there's people who do musical improv that freestyle. Right? I do it, right? I've done it. There's a team called Freestyle Love Supreme with Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's freestyle improv. So you can't say that, right? You can't say, I don't know, like rap comedy? We're not rapping, right? That's going to confuse people.
I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to think of something.
It's really hard. I know it's like when my family, like after my family has come to see me do it, they're like, yo, you still doing that improv shit, dog? Oh, my God, bro.
So I don't have any more questions.
Oh my God.
I don't want to try to reveal anything that is like. It is what it is, y'all. That's the story. It's true, and
I would just say, if you are on my Instagram, Low Budget MC, you can see a picture of who it was. I would also say, like, just think of literally like one of the most hood rap guys that's been around for a minute, producers, and a super talented, famous R&B diva. I don't want to say diva, R&B singer, very talented. And imagine that. And that's dead ass what happened.
But yeah, anybody, it doesn't matter what type of comedy you perform. I think anybody would have hopped on that opportunity.
Of course.
So
you telling me essentially I took it as an invitation to go to a party that was dope.
Right. Exactly.
And if I got to stand on stage and embarrass myself for 5 minutes, I'll be good. I think short of stand up, nothing would have. There were musical performances there that did well, right? But that's a party. People want to dance.
And music always does well. As soon as somebody's done singing, no matter what, you're going to get an applause.
Exactly.
So, and you never know. Somebody could, from that party, some celebrity, you don't know, they could follow, or it could come back up and talk, and they could hop on your page, see that song that you put out.
Yeah.
And it could go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, you might find it.
That's right.
Trust me. I'm going to tell you who's on Take It Personal because it's for sure on all their pages too. Corin Wells, follow her. Mayo, follow her. Casey Jost, follow her. Cipha Sounds. It's literally affected all of our lives. Oh, man,
there
that shit was wild.
All right. Now, last question for you. When it comes time and you are a memory, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like people to remember me as being an authentic person. And what I mean by that is everything I put forward is me, right? It's not a compromise or anything, any way that you remember me, right? For any particular thing that you remember me for, I hope that you remember it as being authentic to me, as a truth about myself, or a truth that I'm trying to put out. Like even something that's silly and stupid, I've always that you believe, or if you know me as just being your friend, that I've always been a genuine person to you, and I've always tried to be real with you. Or if you know me as a businessman, that I've always tried to be authentic and real. I think that to me is the most important, because I want people to feel like I'm not bullshitting them, because I hate bullshitters.
Word. I'm with that.
Yeah, baby.
I'm with that. All right. Before we get up out of here, last words you want to leave the people with? Maybe where they can like
promo stuff. Okay,
that's up to you, my man. You know what I mean?
So here's what's up. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. My website is BIGWILLYGETSILLY.com. It's under construction right now, but it might be up when you hear this. Who knows? I am working on it anyway. But if you want to follow me on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, it's @LowBudgetMC. Facebook, I'm not doing that really anymore. So
Right.
I mean, I do have a page, Big Willie Get Silly, but I mean, I think we're all deleting Facebook soon, right? So
Pretty much.
yeah, so bigwillygetsilly.com or papisuave.net. I do own that, and it's just a redirect to bigwillygetsilly.com. And listen to Gentrify featuring Larry Owens on YouTube. Just
There we go.
Peace.
There we have it. Do that, y'all. Once again, my name is AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. You can find me at www.ajdunk.com. From there, you got my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. It's all located there. Go check it out. I'm constantly getting guests like Big Willie Gets Silly. And then I might get the barista at Starbucks. Who knows? Everybody's got a story to tell, and they can only tell their story the way that they can tell it. I can't do it for them. So thanks again for listening. The name's AJ Dunk, spelled all caps. Don't forget, laughter's always in style. And let them know, Mom.